A ver, vecino, let's sit down for this one. Meanwhile, your cafecito. Welcome to episode 7 of the Entre Mundos podcast. This is a space for bicultural Latinos navigating life between cultures. Y aquí hablamos de cultura, identidad, mental health, family expectations, and what it means to honor your roots without losing yourself. Now, before we get any deeper into today's conversation, I want to offer a quick reminder. Even though I work as a trauma-informed mental health counselor and also as a nervous system educator, this podcast is not therapy, and it's not a replacement for therapy either. This space is for reflection and conversation. Mejor think of it like sitting down with a vecino who understands both cultura y psychology. All right, ahora sí, let's talk. Have you ever said no and immediately felt like you needed to fix it? Like it didn't even have time to land before you were already trying to walk it back? Or maybe this. Have you ever set a boundary and instead of feeling proud, you felt guilty, heavy, maybe off? A ver, let's not talk about boundaries like a concept. Let's talk about what actually happens. Like, you say, I'm not going this weekend, and your mom goes quiet. Not normal quiet, but the kind of quiet where you're already feeling it in your body. And then she says, ahora ya te crees muy independiente o qué? And that right there, did you notice what just happened in your body? Because now it's not about the weekend anymore. So you try to soften it a little bit. No, it's not about that, Mom. I've just been tired. Pero she's not having it. Y comienza a decirte, después de todo lo que hemos hecho por ti, antes no eras así. And now you're sitting there like, damn, how did it end up like this? Why does this feel so big? And you feel it. Your chest tightens, your stomach drops, your voice changes, and now it feels like you're ungrateful, like you're wrong, like you messed something up. So what do? You start adjusting. No, Mom, it's just this week. I'll go next time. It's not that big of a deal. And before you even realize it, you begin to negotiate your own boundary. Y mira, this is important. Every family has a way of staying balanced. And sometimes that balance depends on you staying the same. So when you say no, it doesn't just land as a boundary, it lands as a disruption. And what happens when something gets disrupted? It reacts. So there you go. You try again. I just need some time this week. And then you hear it. Te estás volviendo muy americano. Aquí no somos así. And let me ask you about this. What is it about that statement that makes it stay with you longer than the others? Because now it's not just about your decision. It's about who you are, who you're becoming. And now you're not just uncomfortable. You're questioning yourself. And sometimes it escalates. The Latino mama drama goes all the way up to novela level. Me estás rompiendo el corazón. Ya no te importo, ¿verdad? And to be honest, how do you hold a boundary in that moment? Because let's be real, it's hard. And most of us don't. You say, okay, I'll go. And it's not because you changed your mind, but because holding all of that was just too much in the moment. And then later, you're by yourself. And now it's quiet, but your mind isn't. You start replaying everything. Maybe I said it wrong. Maybe I made it a big deal. I didn't mean to hurt them. And then that feeling comes back. So what do? You text them. Hey, I didn't mean it like that. I can still go if you want. And just like that, you're back in your role. You're doing your part to maintain what your family has known as balance. But sometimes what we've known as balance is actually dysfunction. And Mira, I'm not saying this from the outside. I've been there too. There was a moment whenever I had to set a boundary with my mom, and it was around something that really, really mattered to her. And I had to tell her that I wasn't going to keep having the same conversation anymore. And that if it came up again, I was going to end the conversation. And I remember sitting there before saying it and feeling it in my body. My chest felt tight, my throat felt dry, and there was a part of me that was thinking, don't do this. This is going to hurt her. This isn't going to change things. And it did. I said it and I felt it land. I wish I could tell you that in that moment I felt strong and proud and clear, but I didn't. To be honest, I cried because I knew that it hurt her. And that part mattered to me. And I also wish that I could tell you that she respected it right away, that it was smooth and that it was easy, but it wasn't. She brought it up again and I had to do it over and again a second time. And when I brought it up a second time, that one hurt even more because now it wasn't just about saying it. It was about holding it. And there was a part of me that wanted to let it go, to go back to how it was and not make it a thing. But I didn't. And over time, something shifted. Not right away, not perfectly, but slowly the conversations changed. The respect grew, and the relationship felt more honest. And what came out of that was something that I didn't have before, a relationship that honored her and honored me. And that didn't come from saying it once, it came from staying with it, even whenever it felt uncomfortable. So hear this, you're not weak for struggling in these moments. You're stepping out of something that has been in place for a long time. And when that happens, things don't feel smooth right away. Mira, when you do this, you're not just setting a boundary, you're changing something that your family is used to. So I'll leave you with this. Where in your life are you saying yes just to keep things from shifting? And what would it look like to let things feel a little uncomfortable without rushing to fix it? And if this is something that you're actively working through, I put together a free boundaries guide specifically for bicultural Latinos. It walks you through how to start using your voice without feeling like you're losing your people. You can find it on my Substack. The link is in the description. If this is something you've experienced, I hope you know you're not the only one. These are conversations that many of us have lived but have never had the space to talk about it. So if someone came to mind while you were listening, compártelo, send them this episode, porque sometimes hearing something said out loud can make a difference. And if you want to continue the conversation, you can find me on Substack, on TikTok, and Instagram under Entre Mundos Collective. And of course, don't forget to tell all your vecinos about your favorite bicultural vecino who understands cultura y psychology. Until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of your people, and keep honoring your roots without losing yourself. Un abrazote fuerte. Hasta luego. Bye.